Hi everyone! Today we're going to be learning about perspective. Perspective can make your drawings look more 3D and just kind of generally more realistic. Today you're going to need a piece of paper, a ruler, or some kind of straight edge. That can be a folder, just something that's a straight edge for you to trace, an eraser, and a pencil, or just a pencil that has an eraser. Once you have the necessary items in front of you, you're going to want to use your pencil to make a vanishing point on your paper. A vanishing point is where, when you're looking out at the horizon, things start to vanish. If you've ever been driving out in the country, you'll notice, like, when it's very flat, things just get smaller and smaller until they disappear. I would recommend putting your vanishing point somewhere in the top half of your paper. Next, you're going to use your ruler to make a line going horizontally across your vanishing point. Next, you're going to start thinking about what kinds of things you want to have in this picture. Do you want big, tall buildings? Do you want houses? Do you want just kind of random abstract shapes? For mine, I want to have kind of more of a cityscape, so I'm going to put rectangles, big, tall rectangles, to make my buildings with. This is where your eraser is going to come in handy. As you are making all of these lines, as you're making the horizon line, as you're making pretty much everything to start off with until you start coloring in, you're going to want to go really, really lightly so that when you erase it doesn't make a big mess. So I started off, I made my rectangle, I erased the horizon line behind it, and now this is the tricky part and also the most important part. You are going to want to start taking your ruler and make lines that go from the corner to the vanishing point. Sometimes it can help if you put little dots in the corners, but the most important thing is that you are doing lines directly from the corners to the vanishing point. Wherever you want your building to stop, you're going to put a line there going directly vertically up and down, and then you want to erase everything that does not go in your building. So I'm erasing these other diagonal lines that go back to the vanishing point, and there I have my building. It doesn't have any windows or anything yet, but you can tell because the lines are going to the vanishing point that it looks 3D. Now I'm going to do another one. I'm making another rectangle to start off with, and I'm going to take my lines going from the corners to the vanishing point. And then this next one I'm going to make a little bit taller because, you know, in a city not all the buildings are the same height, so I'm just going to make some of them a little taller, some of them a little shorter. But for every single one, I'm going to start off with a rectangle shape or some kind of recognizable shape. And now that I have my rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and do my lines going from the corners to the vanishing point. And I got some other stuff to erase over here just to make sure that it's looking nice and as clean as possible. I didn't use my ruler, so I'm going to go back over some of these to make it a little straighter. This is why it's important when you're first starting off with this to make your lines as light as you can, because you are going to need to do a lot of erasing as you go. So for those of you who are not doing big cityscapes, let's look and see really quick how to do a house. It's pretty much the same, except you want to start off with a different initial shape, right? Whatever kind of house you're looking at, if it's shaped like a triangle, if it's like a square with a triangular roof up on the top, you just want to start off with that initial shape. And then same thing, put your ruler from the corner to the vanishing point. I'm not going to draw my lines all the way over there because I really don't need to. I just need to draw them far enough that the house looks realistic, and then I can erase whatever I don't want. So now I'm going to put my lines kind of going how I want them to go to make my house look realistic. I got a diagonal one and a vertical one. And then you can add your doors and windows and whatever else you want. Let's do just another quick little smaller square back here. Maybe we'll say this is a barn or something else. And here I'm going to show you how I put dots in the corners. Some of you might find that helpful when you're drawing these lines. And I'm just going to draw mine. Again, I'm not going to go all the way to the vanishing point because I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. And I'm just going to draw them going back to that building. So we'll say this is like a little farm or something happening behind my cityscape. And now I don't really think I'm done yet. I think I'd like to put some more buildings because they all just look a little weird sitting there, just three buildings in the middle of nowhere. But I do want to talk about putting some stuff on our buildings, right? We need to give people a way to get in and out. So if you're going to do like doors and windows or that kind of thing, depending on what side of your building, you'll need your ruler to make them going towards the vanishing point. So for my door, I just drew two lines straight up and down, and then a little line going across, going towards the vanishing point. Up here I'm going to put some windows because these are facing us, so I don't need to make any diagonal lines. I can just make them kind of straight up and down like how they are. And whatever else you want to add, maybe I'll put a little road in the middle here going through the buildings with maybe a little sidewalk on the edge. But whatever else you want to add, if you want to put some signs on your buildings telling everybody what they are, if they're a hotel or if it's a grocery store or an apartment building, whatever else you want to add, now is the time to do that. Again, I would like to put a couple more buildings, but just because we're learning how to do this still, I'm going to stop right here, and you all can get started with your artwork.